ever stop to think about how your morning coffee gets from your stomach to, well, everywhere?
Right.
I mean, it's not like we have tiny baristas running through our veins, right?
Yeah.
But in a way, our bodies are doing something even more amazing.
Uh-huh.
We're diving deep into the world of biological transportation systems, the intricate networks that keep us and our plant pals up and running.
It really is remarkable when you think about it, this constant flow of vital substances all happening without us even realizing it.
Exactly. So picture this. Your circulatory system. It's like a bustling city with blood vessels acting as the roads and highways.
Okay.
And instead of cars, we've got these incredible vehicles called red blood cells.
And those red blood cells, or RBCs, are like tiny delivery trucks, each one packed with this special protein called hemoglobin.
Hemoglobin. Isn't that what gives blood its color?
It does. But more importantly, hemoglobin is a master at grabbing oxygen from your lungs and delivering it to every single cell in your body. Think about it. Without this efficient delivery system, our cells would be gasping for air, like a runner who hit the wall way too soon.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've got these amazing delivery trucks, but what about the roads themselves? I've heard of arteries and veins, but what's the difference again?
Imagine arteries as the superhighways of your body. They're built for speed and efficiency, with thick walls that can handle the high pressure of blood being pumped from the heart.
Makes sense you don't want any traffic jams in those crucial pathways.
Precisely. And because the heart pumps with such force, arteries actually have a pulse that you can feel, like a rhythmic wave of transportation.
Like the pulse in my wrist right now.
Exactly.
So the arteries are delivering all that oxygen-rich blood. What about the veins? They're like the back roads.
You could say that. Veins are responsible for the return trip, carrying blood that's lower in oxygen back to the heart.
Okay.
Since they're not dealing with the same high pressure, veins have thinner walls and a clever system of one-way valves.
One-way valves. That sounds important.
Absolutely. These valves are ingenious. They ensure that blood flows in one direction only, preventing any backflow.
Wow.
It's like having strategically placed traffic signals that keep things moving smoothly.
Wow, our bodies really have thought of everything. But all this talk of pumping and flowing makes me wonder about the heart itself.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing that it just keeps going day in and day out without ever taking a break.
The heart is a true marvel of nature.
Yeah.
It's about the size of your fist and works tirelessly as a double pump with 4 chambers that work together in perfect sync. And get this, the 4-chamber design is a relatively recent development, evolutionarily speaking.
Wait, so older versions of the heart had fewer chambers?
Exactly. Early vertebrates had much simpler hearts.
Wow.
As animals became more complex and active, so did their circulatory systems. The 4-chamber heart is a masterpiece of efficiency, allowing for a continuous flow of oxygenated blood to the body.
Okay, now I'm really starting to appreciate the whole pump is mightier than the sword saying. Speaking of which, what happens to the blood after it's delivered its oxygen? Does it just turn around and go back for more?
Well, not quite. The blood also picks up waste products from your cells. Think of it like collecting the trash after a big party.
So our bodies have a garbage disposal system too. Tell me more.
Absolutely. We have a whole system dedicated to waste removal, the excretory system. It's a bit less glamorous than the circulatory system, but just as essential for keeping things running smoothly.
So it's like the cleanup crew after the circulatory system's big bash.
Exactly. And the stars of this show are your kidneys.
Okay.
These bean-shaped organs act like super filters, constantly working to remove waste products from your blood.
Right.
They're remarkably good at their job, too, processing about 200 liters of blood every single day.
Wow, 200 liters. That's a lot of filtering.
Yeah,
So what happens to all that waste?
that's where urine comes in.
Okay.
Your kidneys extract the waste products, along with excess water and electrolytes, and package them into urine.
Okay, that makes sense. But wait, I thought we needed electrolytes. Those sports drinks are always going on about them.
You do.
Okay.
Electrolytes are minerals that carry an electrical charge and are essential for many bodily functions.
Right.
But just like with most things in life, balance is key.
Right.
Your kidneys help regulate electrolyte levels in your body, making sure there's not too much or too little of any one type.
So it's like a delicate balancing act.
Exactly. And when things are out of whack, your body lets you know. Ever feel super thirsty after a salty meal?
Yeah, definitely.
That's your body signaling to your kidneys to hold on to more water and dilute the excess sodium.
Wow, so many things I never even thought about. Okay, so we've covered the intricate systems of the human body, our blood as the transportation network, our hearts as the powerful pumps, and our kidneys as the incredible filters. But what about plants?
Right.
they need to transport stuff too, right? I mean, how does a redwood tree get water all the way up to its tippy-top leaves? It's not like it has a heart.
It's a great question, and it leads us to another fascinating transportation system, the plant vascular system.
Okay.
Just like animals, plants have their own intricate networks for moving essential substances around.
Intriguing. So tell me more about this plant plumbing. What's it called again? Xylem?
You got it. Xylem is one of the two main types of transport tissue in plants.
Okay.
You can think of xylem vessels, like tiny straws bundled together to create a continuous pathway from the roots all the way up to the leaves.
So it's like a giant straw that the plant uses to sip water from the ground?
In essence, yes.
Okay.
But there's more to it than just simple suction. Remember how we talked about the heart creating pressure to move blood around?
Yeah.
Plants use a different but equally ingenious mechanism called transpiration.
Transpiration. That rings a bell. It has something to do with evaporation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As water evaporates from tiny pores on the leaves called stomata, it creates a pulling force, almost like a chain reaction.
Uh-huh.
The water molecules in the xylem are cohesive, meaning they like to stick together. This cohesion, combined with the adhesion of water molecules to the xylem walls, helps pull water upward against gravity.
It's like the water molecules are doing a little conga line all the way up the plant.
That's a fun way to picture it. And here's another fascinating tidbit. This transpiration process is also what helps to cool plants down.
So it's like their own built-in air conditioning system. That's incredible.
Huh.
But what about food? Plants need to eat too, right? And photosynthesis, that's where they make their food happens in the leaves. How do they get that energy to the rest of the plant? So xylem is like the water highway, but what about the food delivery service?
That's where phloem comes in. If xylem is the plant's water supply system, phloem is the food delivery network. It transports sugars, produced during photosynthesis in the leaves, to other parts of the plant that need energy to grow and function.
It's amazing how plants have these two separate systems working together. It's like a perfectly synchronized dance of nutrients and water all happening beneath the surface.
It really is. And it highlights a fundamental difference between plants and animals. While we have a closed circulatory system with blood continuously looping around, plants have a more open system. It's less about a continuous loop and more about targeted delivery to where resources are needed most.
That's so cool. We've talked about how intricate these transportation systems are within animals and plants, but it makes you wonder about the bigger picture.
Right.
I mean, how does it all connect in nature?
That's the beauty of it all, isn't it? These systems don't exist in isolation.
Yeah.
Take the carbon dioxide we exhale, for example.
Right.
It's a waste product for us, but for plants, it's a key ingredient in photosynthesis. They take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen, which of course is what we need to breathe. It's a beautiful cycle of interdependence.
It really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? We often think of ourselves as separate from the natural world, but we're really all part of this incredible web of life, connected by these unseen systems of transportation and exchange.
Exactly. And those connections extend beyond just gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide.
Right.
Think about the nutrients in the food we eat. Those nutrients were originally absorbed from the soil by plants, which were then maybe eaten by animals, and so on. It's a fascinating journey that these substances take as they cycle through the ecosystem.
It's mind-blowing when you think about it that way. This whole deep dive has been incredible. We've journeyed through the intricate highways and byways of both animal and plant transportation systems, uncovering the hidden wonders of how living things get what they need to thrive.
And the journey doesn't end here, does it? There's always more to discover, more to learn, and more to appreciate about the intricate workings of the natural world.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive, we'll leave you with this thought. We've explored the fascinating ways that vital substances are transported within individual organisms, but what about the grander transportation networks that exist on a global scale? How do those systems like ocean currents and wind patterns influence the distribution of nutrients, gases, and even life itself across our planet? Keep those minds curious, and we'll catch you in our next deep dive.